underground hip hop, boom bap, all about the bars right after.
Yeah, that's the key, man. Being experimental because when you're taking creative chances, you never know what whom your music may reach to.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. That's real talk. That's real talk. You know what I mean? And like you're saying, it's really just keeping it real in the music and putting the bars together is like it helps connect with the people too. You know what I mean?
And how long did it take you guys to complete the EP?
And probably like few months, probably like 3 months. It didn't even take long, and that was just because we were working. So you know,
Yeah, we did all them songs. We didn't even know how many songs was gonna be on the EP. It's like we was working on our own solo stuff, and we was really working on For the Love. And so while we was doing all that, we just randomly would pick out a beat, like maybe after a session, and then we both would write to it and lay it down, and we just keep it in the stash. And so right after Christmas, we was just like, yo, we should just give them something else. And them are the 5 songs that was just in the stash, you know what I mean? And so that's why we called it Always Around, because we always got that ready. And we all around artists, you feel me? And Always Around is just a little saying, just a little whatever, just to mean that no matter what's going on, how long it's been since we talked, like hit me. You know what I'm saying? Even if I'm not around, I'm here. You know what I mean? So
yeah.
And going back now, how do you guys end up clicking up in the first place? Like, did y'all have like a creative commonality on like, okay, this guy got great energy? Because every time when you got to click, it got to be based off energy, it got to be based off music, it got to be a form of common ground. So, would that form some of the reason how you guys clicked up?
Yeah, yeah. I mean, honestly, we go back to middle school. You know what I'm saying? I met bro in middle school, and we was cool through basketball for a minute, and then it was like probably like what, like 2010 or something, 2011.
yeah, 2010, 2011.
Yeah, I think I might have put out a project, or he better have put out a project, and then he just hit me up. Was like, "Yo, I didn't know you did music too." So it was like, since we known each other since we was young, it was like, hey, I mean, we both work on music. Might as well work on some music together. And that was a good minute ago.
So it's just
Yeah.
you two being a duo, or you have any other people affiliated with the camp?
Right now, as far as artists go, it's just me and him.
Uh huh.
But we like to throw in everybody who behind the scenes, like our engineer who mix and master everything, who send everything to Jay Blank. We like to call him a part of Crown Collective. Even though he engineering and doing stocks and Bitcoin and everything like that, we like he part of the team. Like he's a big part of our sound. Like we take our mixing and mastering and engineering and all that seriously, and he does a great job. So also my boy Baker's Media Jakai, he starting. Well, he had been doing some content for me, and now he's starting back because he was in Denver. Now he moved back, and I just always say, "Yo, bro, part of the team." And these are 2 people, and there's some other people that I might be missing and not naming, but these are 2 people who, even if it's ain't about no money, they'll hit us up like, "Hey, yo, send us something. Don't worry about no payment. I know you got something." You know what I mean? Like people like that, they part of Crown Collective unofficially too. And so, because we 2 separate artists, Seth Simmons and Southern Nova, but when we come together, we Crown Collective. So anybody who will reoccurring working with us and locked in like that, they Crown Collective too. And so are the fans. If you're a reoccurring fan like that, you on the bandwagon early, you Crown Collective too. That's why it's a collective.
Yeah, man. So listening to you guys' music, man, what was some of y'all musical inspirations in terms of sound quality, in terms of bars? Like, who inspired you guys?
Me, I would say, I grew up listening to a lot of old school. You know what I'm saying? Like my pops used to play a lot of old school, like Barry White, Herbie
Hmm.
Hancock. You know what I'm saying? Things like that. Old school R&B, old school gospel. So that's really what got me into music, but what got me into hip hop was more like honestly Drake back in like So Far Gone era, you know what I'm saying? Because I was always writing like poetry, things like that. But then when I used to listen to like Drake So Far Gone, it was like, okay, you know what I mean? I already write, I already freestyle, you know, might as well express myself through the beat, you know what I mean?
Yeah, for me, music was just always a big part of my family as well. Like my dad would play records. Early on, he had a big stereo. You know what I'm saying? Couldn't nobody touch it. That was a centerpiece of the living room. He liked Marvin Gaye, Al Green, all that type of stuff. And then I was always around my older cousins. Uh, I had a cousin who would put me on Wu Tang and stuff like that. But then I had my other cousins who would put me on Outkast and Goody Mob and people like that. And then as I got older, who really, really got me into hip hop and listening to lyrics and got me inspired to write, that would have to be definitely Outkast, Big Boy and Andre 3000. Definitely Little Brother, specifically Fonte. And I'm definitely a big Currency fan. I always say when you listen to me, Deontay, you gonna hear Andre, Shante, and Fonte. You know what I'm saying? Because I feel like my style is a good mix of them three right there.
Yeah, because what I like about you guys' music is when I listen to y'all, that it gives me like a good feel good vibe, feel good energy. You know what I mean? That ride with the top down type music, your chill type music. We need that because we live in a time where everybody's extra aggressive, extra extra with everything. You know they over the top with it, but you guys come in that lane and fulfilling that fun energy. You know what I mean? Because that's what we like.
Nah,
Yeah.
that's actually good to hear you say because we talk about it all the time. We want to know what other people is hearing, and that's what we really trying to convey. You know what I'm saying? Like we really want it to be a vibe. Like when I make music and when we make projects, we don't want to just. Of course, bars is a focus, and that's what we do. It's a sport too, so we take that very seriously. But the feeling you get from the bars, the feeling you get from the beat, like can you live with this? When you hear this, are you gonna remember the time you played it for some girl you was with and y'all was riding down and this was playing in the background? Like you gonna remember a memory where you told your homeboy, "Hey, listen to this." You know what I'm saying? And y'all, you know what I mean? Like we want to make music for that, not just to be the littest or the most lyrical. Like we want to make stuff that make you feel what you just said. So, man, that's good to hear.
Yeah, appreciate that.
Yeah, man. Because usually when I'm looking at new artists and everything, I'm looking at how can these guys stand out from the pack, man. And you guys clearly found a lane, and especially it's a breath of fresh air coming from the Carolinas and everything. So, well, did you guys find any challenges in terms of getting to the game and finding that lane? Because everybody's pigeonholed into one style. So you guys coming into a lane, do you guys catch any form of difficulty trying to get in?
I mean, I would, me personally, I mean, you know, as far as both of us, I wouldn't see it as like difficulty. I just see it as like, you know, if you have like the passion for the music and then you have your unique sound that you stick to, it's like, it's no matter what, if you apply that pressure, you're going to consistently build some type of fan base, you know what I mean? So I wouldn't see it as me personally as a difficulty. I see it as like really just being able to stand out and have the passion for the music, you know what I'm saying? Because if they see it as a difficulty, it might be because, you know, the outcome might be like financial or you know what I'm saying? But it's like if you just enjoy the music, it's like, you know what I mean, you just enjoy making music. So whatever happens from it, you know what I mean? It's like a topping, you know what I mean?
And I also wanted to add on to that to say, like what you said, it being different is that difficult. It can be if you look at it in that way, but it's definitely different though, because what you're doing is different. So, sometimes people just appreciate that difference. So it's kind of easy for you to cut through. But when you're trying to cut through to a mass of people, it may be, it may be a little hard, but man, when you've been doing it as long as we do it, and when you do it well, that's the key. Even if it's different, even if it's hard, When people hear it and it's good, that's it. Like that's all. That's the key right there. No matter how different it is, if it's good, then you good. And like he said, like we love to do it, and we do it for it to be good.
And you guys coming from Charlotte, man, like tell me about the North Carolina rap scene and your thoughts on it currently. That you see it massively improving, or do you see it could get a little bit better?
I mean, I would say, I don't see it massively improving at the current moment, but I do see it gradually getting better. You know what I'm saying? Just because, it's artists around the city that I see are starting to make more noise and be more consistent. Like, I don't know them personally, but artists like Mavi, you know what I'm saying? He making noise right now, and shout out Young Bizzle. He just dropped a project. He making noise right now. So I feel like the artists are starting to be more consistent because
Ghostman.
Ghostman too. They starting to be more consistent because they see the opportunities, you know what I'm saying, and see that it can actually be accomplished coming from Charlotte.
Yeah, I do see a gradual uptick in people looking at the Carolinas specifically for the next thing or whatever. Because I ain't gonna say we late to the party or we whatever, but we were always to ourselves and we was always comfortable with that because we confident. If you never been to North Carolina, when you come, a Carolina dude, he gonna be confident with who he is and where he's from, and we really don't need validation from everywhere else. We who we are, wherever you from at in the Carolina. So I think that's a thing that make us stand out, but man kind of held us back. But with the interview and people breaking through like Cole and like the baby, it's almost inevitable. You know what I'm saying? And I always say like it's just hip hop and the Carolinas, the R&B and the music, all the gospel. It's always been there. Anthony Hamilton, Fantasia, Casey and JoJo, John P. Key. So the rest of the music has always been there. It was just the rap that had to catch up. So it's inevitable.
Yeah, the musical foundation has always been rich in tradition. It's just that it's still, having that big voice to bring a lot of attention and heads to the city and to the towns and where we, doing our thing. Because it took a while for us to even get radio, you know what I mean? Because radio was so concerned with playing out of towners. You're not really showing a lot of love to the people that's within the homegrown artists. So that was also another Achilles heel that creators and artists had to deal with. But now with the internet coming in, it slowly opened up that lane, and that's how I got introduced to you guys. Big shout out to my man, Knife Legend, for putting me on to you guys. So it's
Shout
slowly
out
but
Nike.
surely opened up doors.
What was that?
I said slowly but surely opening up doors.
Yes, slowly but surely, man. We're just trying to take advantage, and it's still always a money game. So when you just two regular dudes out here, and when you ask for difficulty, that's really what it is. You know what I'm saying? Is the music good? You know what I'm saying? Because like you said, it is different, but it just got to be good, and you got to have the funds to back it, and to put the promo behind it. That's the obstacle right there. That's what everybody's looking for. That's what separates you really. When you to get enough eyes and to get the promo to get them eyes and them ears,
That's real
to
talk.
separate you from the pack.
Yeah, it's about having that promotion machine behind you, and you right now you got to be the machine. That's the challenge of being independent.
Right.
Yeah, that's real
So
talk.
it's definitely opened up a lane. It's possible, but that working to getting them funds and doing that and to putting that behind that yourself, that's the challenge. And hey, we've been creative while doing this. We've I ain't gonna say we've been far, but we done been in some places that done surprised us. We done surprised ourselves while doing this.
Yeah, definitely.
Like we done surprised ourselves while doing this. So I'm just always opened up to the challenge because it's been times where it looked like we done overcame that challenge. So whenever you get one of them big dubs, it just re-energizes.
Yeah.
Now, you guys getting into the business part. Like, what have you learned on the business side of the music business?
As far as the business side, I mean, really, I just learned from, just ear hustling, like, watching YouTube videos, podcasts, you know what I'm saying? Things like that. But as far as business, I just learned that, like he was saying, if you're gonna go the independent route, you really gotta have the funds to back that up, and it takes a lot of funds, you know what I'm saying? And we just started from the ground as far as like making that happen. So that's one thing I learned is if you're gonna go independent, it's gonna take a lot of funds. But if you're gonna sign with something, just really, really lock in on it. So it does get to that level. You know what I mean? It's something that we really have to focus in on, not just sign away on anything. You know what I mean?
I also learned that networking is key. It seemed like a lot of the wins we had so far is through networking.
Yeah,
Hmm.
We've met a lot of people and got a lot of chances to do shows and of different things, to open up for different rappers at different places through straight networking.
yeah.
So networking is definitely key, and just trying to get better at that.
And that's a great follow up to the next question. Like, what are your thoughts on how social media is entwining with the music business today? Do you guys see that like a gift and a curse?
Definitely a gift and a curse. Um, it's definitely a gift and a curse, but it's just the way it's being used. It's the way, because when it's ground level social media stuff winning, it's the gift, like the blog era.
Hmm.
The blog era was a gift that a lot of people don't even really know about. But I'll put the blog era up against the golden age of hip hop. I know a lot of people don't like that, especially a lot of people older than me. But it's a lot of classic mixtapes that's really classic albums.
Hold that thought for a second. Now, let people know who was a part of the blog era. For those who listen on why you may want to compare it to the golden era, because this is the debate right here. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because but let people know so that way we could get a better understanding on how even that era was dope.
Wiz.
Yeah, Wiz in the beginning, like the Kendrick, your Cole, your Wale in the beginning, and a lot of people know their album stuff, but they had classics before they dropped albums. All three of them.
Hmm.
Like, so that's what I'm saying. Like, a lot of people gonna hear them three names and be like, "Oh, we know about Kendrick," but I was like, "Nah, bro. Mixtape about more about that." And like, them was already classics before. You know what I mean? You had Currency. You got
Hmm.
Hey, Crit.
you got Big Crit. Um, Man, you got whole TDE. You got a group out of LA, Overdose.
Yeah.
You got ASAP Rocky, them,
Dom Kennedy.
Dom Kennedy. Um, I think Matt So Cream came at the end of that.
Our
Uh,
future.
Odd Future, part of that. Like, it's a lot of good material. Matt Miller. It's a lot of good material out of that. Big Sean, when he first before he signed them Detroit mixtapes.
Yeah.
Like, a lot of people say Big Sean still ain't outdid his mixtapes. But it's a whole
Mm.
lot of people who really went and tapped in. Like, when that music came out, it was like late high school into college. Like, I was living, having experiences with the music at the time. Like, and there's a lot of people who was younger and older. They really not gonna get that era of music like that. And why I say that?
Yeah, the blog era has some real dope moments for real. People really sleep on that era.
Yeah, that's true though. That's true though. And yeah, I would say too, like you were saying, like a gift and a curse of social media. I mean, I agree with him. It's about like, the benefits of it. You know what I mean? Like I feel like it's a gift as far as like it's a tool of the new age to, market, but I feel like it can be a curse as well because, a lot of things are like into following and it's like it pretty much has an algorithm that it projects and people get into following those type of things. So I feel like it's a gift because it's a tool though. But it depends on how you approach, the social media and everything as an artist.
The thing about social media when it comes to hip hop too, especially trying to come up, it the weight of it it's so much. Like your visual part of it is so much as compared to the actual music.
That's true. That's true though.
Like it's good, but it's like somebody will put a whole bunch of money into a social media marketing team, but have mid music but come up because they social media good. You know what I'm saying? Like that's the like you could play the image so much more in this age. Which I mean, if you got good music and you can do that, hey, so be it. You're an artist both ways. But it's more people who are artists in the way of content creation more than they are a rapper. It's basically what I can say. And you can take from that what you want.
Yeah, because if it looks to me, people are more so concerned with the character. They're more fulfilled with the character and not the music.
Exactly. It's that,
Exactly.
and it's like that could work because man, I thought about that too, but I also can't be a hater because, and I don't want to say character in the sense, but some of our favorite rappers had great rap personas
Oh yeah,
and put on great rap personas. So it's like I can't knock it all the way, but it's like social media has ramped up the weight of the persona more than the actual music.
Yeah,
yeah. 'Cause
that's
those
true.
guys back in the day, they had to follow up with the music.
The music had to come first, to be
Yeah, the
honest.
music
Exactly.
was first. Yeah, the music was first.
Yeah, the
So I
music.
ain't so it's like I ain't gonna sit here and knock and whine about it, but I would say if the weight of the music weighed more than your content creation, I think it'd be a little bit better outcome.
Absolutely. Because at the end of the day, we tolerated a lot just because people had great music. You know what I mean? We tolerated a lot of corniness at the time. But
Yeah.
but at the same time, when them dudes had the ear for the beats, that's why probably in a way, going off the cuff, no pun intended. It's probably why we tolerated Kanye for so long, because he had good music at the time.
Right. Right. You're
He-
right. You're right.
That's hilarious.
yeah, I mean we he had he had the juice at the time, so we tolerated a lot of that. Like, okay, when
Yeah.
he dropped the album, we shut up and caught the shit.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, that's true though.
But going in right now with y'all new project, man. So you got any other visuals you gonna shoot, or y'all gonna tour after that?
Oh man, tour. Hey, you know what I'm saying? That grateful for that to be happening soon. But as far as new music, we got a project coming together. Shell and the Fold, the sequel. You know what I mean? So we just sent that out to the engineer. So you know what I mean?
Yeah, we got Shell and the Foe coming. We just sent him the last three songs. So all the songs recorded, we just gonna let him sit in the lab and do what he do. Jay Blank with the last three. Then we're gonna get our cover and we're gonna probably drop that within the next month.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, so Shell and the Foe coming within the next month, man. It's just all good vibes, smoking music. Foe reference 704 our area code, and Shell is a little slang word we got here in Charlotte. That mean you real high, you super high, like you done did a lot. You Shell, you know what I'm saying? Like that's what we say in Charlotte. So Shell and the Foe. Um, and it's just gonna it's something cool to ride to. You know what I'm saying? We ain't doing too much.
Yeah, the dope part
Yeah.
about it is you guys, I could tell that y'all really click in one another because you could tell the difference between when cats really click versus people that just really put there. Like you could tell within the chemistry.
Word, yeah, yeah. Appreciate that, bro. Yeah. And
Ain't
yeah, I
like
remember.
they just putting the nigga in the group and we don't mess with them, but it's a check. So we just gonna rock it out. You can tell how it sometimes flowing even with these collabs.
Hey, yeah, appreciate that, bro. Yeah, yeah, man. We go way back, you know what I'm saying? So, you know what I mean? I feel like that's important, you know what I mean?
Yeah, and I feel like important part of that too, what make the music good, is like we really ain't trying to force nothing. Like, um, cause we two solo artists. Like when I come in here, he always doing his own music. I be coming here doing my own music, and we just make music together when like we feeling it, or like what I'm saying. I got a good idea, or I got a few beats, and we save them and organize them. But we really don't try to force nothing when it come to us doing music together. Like, cause we really You know what I'm saying? We together and we bounce off of each other, but he be focused on his stuff, I be focused on my stuff, and then when the vibe there about a beat or when somebody got an idea, that's when then we'll start working on something. But I feel like a lot of people try to force it. You know what I'm saying? Try to force the situation or whatever, whatever. But it wasn't really like that with us. It was really more of a marketing idea when we first came together.
Yeah,
Like, we really wasn't gonna do that much music. We was like, we're gonna form a clique so we can help each other push each other music for real, for real. So then as I was introducing them to the studio. This is like over 10 years ago when we first started. He started coming to the studio to record his stuff. He was in Greensboro. I was in Durham at one point, and then once we just start going to the studio more together in certain situations, that's when we just started making songs together. So it was never a forced type of situation. And like I said, we known each other from playing basketball in middle school, from tryouts. One of my homies who I had hoop with, he was
Crown
like,
Collective Radio. Crown Collective Radio.
yeah, that's one of our pages too.
Yeah, because y'all had an interview with the late Slim 400. Rest in peace, man. Like, how was that vibe like?
oh man, that was lit. You know what I mean? That was a throwback. We that's when we had the Greensboro show going up at 103.1 WAG UNC Greensboro, and man, it was man, really just the networking, like you said, networking. You know, we got in contact with his manager. His manager set up the call for the show, and we just talked to him a little bit on the phone. Long live Slim 400. You know what I'm saying? But it was definitely dope. That was a dope experience right there.
Yeah, bro, and I had to always give him props. I got to sit in on that interview, I think.
Oh yeah, yeah, I think
Um,
so. I think so. Yeah.
like his networking skills, man. Like rest in peace to Slum 400. But that was a cool interview where he called in and took our questions and answered them in full. And I think it was after he had done the show, he was getting back on the van. You know what I mean? Like he was up in spirit, but he was like, like this was something he wanted to do. Like you know what I'm
Right.
saying? Like you know what I'm saying? So we was like, nah, we good. We wait till you like, cause it was like, yo, I had remembered. You know what I'm saying? So it just seemed like he was a good down to earth type of dude, man. So that was a good interview to do. And Greensboro Radio, he did a lot more interviews, and that opened up some doors through networking. That's how we got to open up for Jay Worthy, wasn't it?
Yeah, yeah,
In Atlanta. Yeah.
yeah, yeah, yeah. That's how we ended up because we did a radio interview with Jay Worthy, and you know what I mean. That's how we got in contact with him, and we ended up doing a show out there, and it was crazy. It was in Atlanta, and we actually did like 4 or 5 songs, like right before he walked out on stage. It was dope. So, like you said, the power of networking. You know what I mean? Like that's very important.
Yeah, and the dope part about it is, see, you guys not only got the experience from the artist side, but also the content creating side, because the book interviews is a job within itself, because a lot of these guys be wanting payola off the front, a ridiculous amount of sum of money. Sometimes these guys show up high, you know what I mean? They show up 20, 30 times late. It's a hassle.
Yeah, yeah, I understand that. I understand that. I know how it be, man. I know how that be.
Yeah,
But
because
yeah,
it can definitely be an hassle, but see, at the same time, it's a great education, because now you can navigate and use that for the product and getting it out there. Everything has like a lesson in it. You know what I mean?
yeah, yeah, that's real talk.
And
That's
that's
real
what we've been
talk.
taking from this game, man. Like we were saying, we could have quit like a long time, man, but we just been looking at everything we've been doing wrong and taking it as a lesson and trying to flip it. And like you say, like we talking about some of the interviews we did now to lead to a show. Like them are just small wins we done had. So you hitting us up to do this, and it's like, oh, this gonna be our first time somebody interview us. Usually we on the other end. Like it's like little wins that's coming together that we just taking as lessons to get us to where we need to get.
Yeah, yeah, definitely.
And y'all guys started that show like before y'all guys started rapping, or it was just the opposite.
You said that we started that show. It was like after we started rapping. So,
Gotcha.
probably started rapping like, probably like 5 to maybe even 10 years before the show started. But
Gotcha.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah. And that's what we want to tell the audience, man. Like, especially in these days and times, you got to diversify your hustles now. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's one of the keys, man. Especially like we was talking about this content creation. It's like you're gonna be paying a lot of people, you can learn how to do something.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Yeah, man. You got to have about, well, in 2025, you got to have about 8 different hustles in this game, man. Straight up.
Yeah, yeah. Nowadays, yeah, that's the truth, though.
Yeah, man. You guys have any your projects on physical copies, or they're all digital right now?
Yeah, everything digital right now, but I mean, that's definitely something we can put in the works. You know what I mean? Right now, everything digital, just Apple Music, Spotify, YouTube Music, all that. And I just dropped a project, Island of Love. You know what I'm saying? Solo, like you were saying, we both be dropping our solo music too. So I just
Mhm.
dropped the EP, but yeah, everything digital as far as right now.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We about to wrap things up because we got things to take care of. I know you guys got some more work to cook up. Tell people where they can find your music, where they can purchase your music, and where they can follow you guys as well for the latest.
Me at Southern_or, that's IG, that's Twitter. You here, Crown Collective Media page. Everything on Crown Collective is on Apple, Spotify. Everything Southern Door is on Apple, Spotify, all streaming services, YouTube. I got my own YouTube channel, Southern Door. Trying to get that off the ground. It's only one video on there right now, but we're trying to put more in content. Uh, man, like, shoot, we working. I'm working on Crown Collective stuff and my solo stuff at the same time. So you can find me at both of them places.
Yes,
Yeah,
sir. You
yeah,
guys have
no.
any other shout outs you want to give out?
Yeah, I mean, shout out to you for hosting us on this interview, you know what I'm saying? You can check me out at Simmons Vibes, you know what I mean? Like you said, Crown Collective Media 4, that's the Crown Collective page. We posting content, try to do that weekly. And it's also Vibrations Clothing 4, you know what I mean? Got the hats and things like that. But shout out to you for having us on this interview. Shout out Jay Blank. Michael Knight, you know what I mean? Shout out Southern Oregon, you know what I'm saying? Shout out everybody, man, you know what I mean? Big shout out God too, you know what I mean? So man, who else you think of right now?
Yeah, Quell for shooting videos for us for a minute.
Yeah.
Jakai, I already said him. Man, and shout out to the people who just throughout the years and said something about my music, man. I didn't even know they was listening, man. Shout out to Wade, man. He used to mix me a minute ago. He helped in my artist process. You know what I mean? And Wade helped in a lot of artist process around the city of Charlotte, bro. Yeah, when Charlotte, people always be like, man, Charlotte need to be like Atlanta, But at the same time, bro, when Charlotte get a whole bunch of artists and stuff out there, man, that they need to do a tribute to that man, Wade, bro. Wade and mixed by Wade, man. He done mixed a whole lot of people in Charlotte stuff, man. Um,
That's what's up, yeah.
so, Michael Knight too.
Yeah.
That's two beats we rapping over almost all the time. So you asked me about Crown Collective, Michael Knight doing this whole thing, but Michael Knight, he Crown Collective whenever he want to be too.
Yeah.
Most definitely, Michael Knight come through with them beats. Hey, he basically be giving them to us. Like I can't say, damn, Michael Knight come through. I don't know what's taking it so long for anybody to figure it, who to get a beat from, but
Yeah.
hey,
Hey, he produced
shout out.
the latest project too. Yeah.
That's what it is, man. Yeah, we definitely appreciate you guys joining us. Apologize for the delay, man. You know how technology is, man. We be trying to wiggle this thing, you know?
Nah,
Hey,
you good, bro. I appreciate the opportunity.
yeah, I know how I be, bro.
But yeah, we're gonna definitely keep in touch, man. We're gonna definitely promote more of your work. It is just the beginning.
Yeah, bro. Definitely. We definitely gonna hit you up for this next project, bro.
Yeah,
Oh,
we definitely about to work.
for sure, man. We definitely gonna work it in, man. So big shout out to everybody that took time to join us. We'll definitely be back on this Monday night. And subscribe, hit that like button, follow, do what you do, man. Just support it. But we out of here, y'all. Y'all have a good night.
All right, you too, man. Appreciate it.
All right.